Hey guys, how are you all? Okay, so it's time to start with our session right now on CVS physiology, cardiovascular physiology. I hope everything is the video and all, everything is good. We will start with CVS physiology, MCQ session 1. Okay, so let's start. Right. So welcome Rajat, Anjali, Sohani, Nurel, Megha, Arising. Right. So we've already had one session on embryology, head and neck MCQs. Now I have two back-to-back sessions with a 10-minute break in between on cardiovascular physiology, and we are going to cover at a good speed a lot of questions from CVS physiology. On YouTube right now, I have a series that is running for CVS physiology where I'm taking systematic lectures of all the topics possible from CVS physiology. Okay. So the series is going on. You can subscribe to my Telegram channel and get more details on what lecture has been scheduled for when. So I want to tell you that this lecture is brought to you by Unacademy at absolute free cost. My name is Chetanya Mittal. I'm currently pursuing my MBBS at AIMS New Delhi. So I hope you guys have downloaded the Unacademy learning app. I would also request you encourage your friends to download the app, and they can use the referral code SPCM to unlock the free plan on Unacademy, and they will be able to access a lot of free content. We have some of the top educators teaching live on Unacademy. They're making plus courses for you, which are obviously paid courses, and I'll be telling you about the subscriptions in due course. At the same time, we have free of cost special classes for you guys to access. And on repeated requests, we have launched a batch for MBBS First Prof exclusively for First Prof MBBS. Right? Hi Ekta, how are you? Right. So this batch is exclusively for First Prof MBBS, and it will be by the top educators, and you'll have a complete, comprehensive, in-depth coverage. You can see what are the details of the classes and the timings and everything. So Unacademy is a one-stop solution for NEET PG. You have testing, you have the live classroom experience, and you have doubt clearing, right? So you have access to all of that, and you can do all of that on your laptop. You don't need to be restricted to your mobile phones or anything, right? You can do it on a big screen. You can even do it on your TV. Okay. So these are the subscription plans. One is the iconic subscription where you get both Unacademy and Prep Ladder, right? And I will show you the calculations at the end. The 3-year plan, it is for 58,500, and the 2-year plan, it's for almost 50,000. 1-year plan, it's for 40,000. Okay, and this is only a limited time offer, and it's a huge discount, right? And for the plus subscription, these are the subscription plans available. 1-year plan is for 25, 2-year plan is for 36,000, and the 3-year plan is for 45,000. You have to use my referral code SPCM or Chetanya10. You can use any of these two referral codes, and you will be eligible for these discounts. We have a trial offer going on, that is a 3-month plus 1 offer, right? So if you get a 3-month subscription, you will get 1 month absolutely free of cost. Again, you have to enter the referral code SPCM. Okay, so take advantage of all these offers. At the end, I'll give you an in-depth uh, details about the Unacademy program. But right now, I want to start with the MCQs. Okay, so that we don't waste any more time. Let's start with cardiovascular physiology MCQ session number 1. Right, first question on your screens. It's time to poll. It's time to poll. Okay, so you guys will tell me. You guys will tell me. Coronary blood flow to the left ventricle increases during. So this is a multiple answer correct. This is a multiple answer correct. Okay, there are 3 answers that are correct. There are 3 answers that are correct. Okay, so can you tell me quickly in the chat which of the following do you think is correct? Okay, so I'll do a poll, and the first answer that is correct is going to be the correct answer. Okay, so for example, let's say the first correct answer is option C. Then you should, let's say the answer is C, D, and E. So you should select option C in the poll. You should select option C in the poll. Okay. So coronary blood flow, when does it increase? When does it increase? Okay. So the reason is you have to understand this is a integrated question. It includes a lot of concepts from CVS physiology. Okay. So coronary blood flow, you have to understand one thing, that blood to the heart, all the body gets blood when there is systole. The entire body, it is receiving blood when there is systole. But the heart receives blood during diastole. During diastole. What's the reason for that? Because during systole, the heart is contracting. The heart is contracting. So what is happening? Let's say this is the muscle of the heart, and in between the muscles, squished tightly, you have the vessels, right? So during systole, when these muscles contract, they are going to exert exert pressure on the vessels, and the vessels, they get constricted, right? They get constricted. So there is no blood flow. There is almost very less blood flow during the systole. So that's the wrong answer, right? During hypoxia, yes, the coronary blood flow, it will increase, because when there is a fall in the PO2, that leads to a vasodilator effect that causes vasodilation in the coronary arteries. So yes, B is true. Hypothermia, false, right? Hypothermia means there is a fall in the metabolic rate, so cardiac output is going to decrease, so the requirement of blood is also going to be less. Stimulation of sympathetic nerves to the heart, absolutely true. If sympathetic nerves are stimulated, it means that the heart is beating faster, it is contracting with more force, so it needs more blood. This is true. Arterial hypertension, yes, arterial hypertension means that the blood has to be pumped against a greater force, right? Because the pressure, the afterload is more, so it has to be pumped against a greater force. That means that the heart has to spend more energy, so more blood flow will be required for the left ventricle. More blood flow will be required for the left ventricle. So these are the kind of questions which are actually going to clear your concepts. Okay, so do try and attempt all of these. Let's go to question number 2. Let's go to question number 2. Okay, so again, 2 answers are correct, 3 answers are false. 2 answers are correct, 3 answers are false. Okay. Correct, correct. Very good. Good answering, guys. Good. Right. So now it's very simple to understand. Yes, Norel, you're right. The answer is option A and C, correct. So now try and understand why A and C is correct. Okay. So heart and muscle, they are muscles, right? They are muscles. And muscles, they need blood flow in proportion to their work. जितना उन्हें काम करना है, उतना उन्हें blood चाहिए. ठीक है. A and C are correct. But other organs, they have certain specific functions for which they get a lot of blood. Okay, so the blood flow to the skin, it does not depend on the work the skin has to do. It does not have to do any work. It depends on what is the state of the body. Okay, does the body want to lose heat, or does the body want to conserve heat? Lungs, they will receive all the blood. They will receive all blood that the heart is pumping. Okay, it does not matter how much blood they need. They're always going to get access, because they have to oxygenate all the blood. Kidney has to filter all the blood, so kidney also gets much excess blood as compared to its requirement, right? It gets almost 20% of the cardiac output, does not have that much requirement. Okay, clear? Right. Let's go to question number 3. Question number 3. Again, a multi-answer correct. 3 are true. True are false. 2 are false. So what is going to be the correct answer? You guys will tell me. Statement-based question. It will take some time to read. So I'll also start reading along with you guys. The pressure drop along large veins is similar to that along large arteries. Yes, that's true. Both of them are going to be offering little resistance, right? Because these are not resistance vessel, they are conductance vessel. They are conductance vessel. So yes, almost same pressure drop is going to be there. The pressure drop depends on how much resistance is being offered, right? Drop across the hepatic portal bed is similar to that across the splenic vascular bed. No, absolutely false, right? Drop across the splenic vascular bed, it is much larger, because liver, it does not offer that much resistance to blood flow. Okay, this is false. In the hepatic portal vein, the pressure exceeds that of the inferior vena cava. That is true. That is absolutely true. Otherwise, how will the blood go from the portal vein to the inferior vena cava, right? So obviously the pressure has to be more, because the hepatic portal vein, it is ultimately going to the inferior vena cava. It is ultimately draining to the inferior vena cava. So this has to be true, because blood can only flow from high pressure to low pressure. Okay. The drop across the vascular bed in the foot is greater when a subject is in the vertical than when he's in the horizontal position. So what is the difference between the vertical and the horizontal? If you change from the horizontal to the vertical position, you will increase the arterial pressure also, you will increase the venous pressure also. Okay, so both pressure increases, so there is no increase in the drop across the vascular bed, right? So this is false. Effect of gravity, it will be equal for artery also and vein also, right? So pressure drop is pressure of artery minus pressure of vein, right? Or pressure final minus pressure initial. So that pressure drop, it will remain same, because the effect of gravity, it will be equal. If it is plus 10 here, it will be plus 10 here also, so that will get cancelled. In foot, the veins is lower. Pressure in the foot veins is lower when walking as compared to when you are standing still, yes, because there is a venous muscle pump in the leg and that decreases the venous pressure. Okay, so A, C, and E. Okay, so these questions, they are slightly higher order thinking, and you guys require one level of thinking that is above normal. Okay, so think about every question carefully. There is a logical explanation. थोड़ी physics लगाओ, थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ, आंसर आएगा. ठीक है. Question number 4. Yesterday I had taken a class on heart sounds. I had taken a class on heart sounds. So 2 are true, 1 is false. Sorry, 3 are false. 2 are true, 3 are false. So which of the following is a difference between the second heart sound and the first heart sound? So in my lecture yesterday on heart sounds, I told you first heart sound is called as love. Second heart sound is called as dub. So L for love, L for louder, L for low pitched, and L for longer lasting or longer duration, right? So second heart sound, is it related to turbulence set up by valve closure? Yes, both are related to valve closure. Both are related to valve closure. So this is not a point of difference. Longer lasting, no. First heart sound is longer lasting. Higher in frequency, yes, because this is low pitched. So this is obviously high pitched. So C is correct. Occasionally split. Occasionally split. Right? So this one is false. Both can be split. Both can be split. There is a splitting of first heart sound also. There is a splitting of second heart sound also. Heard when the ventricles are relaxing? Yes, that's true, because when the ventricles relax, there is a phase called as protodiastole, and in that there is closure of semilunar valves, and that produces the second heart sound. Whereas the first heart sound, it is due to closure of the atrioventricular valves when the ventricles are in a state of isovolumetric contraction. Okay, just before that. Question number 5. Pulmonary vascular resistance. Pulmonary vascular resistance. What is true and what is false about this? So 2 statements are true and 3 are false. So you have to select the true statements. Always select the true statements. Okay. Pulmonary vascular resistance is less than 1/3 offered by the systemic circuit. Obviously, this is true. Okay, you need very less, as you know, in the right atrium, the right ventricle, it does not need as much pressure to pump the blood as much as the left ventricle. That is why left ventricle wall is almost 3 times thicker. It is 3 times thicker. So the pressure required by the right ventricle to pump is less than 1/3 than that of the systemic circuit, right? So this is true. This is true. Okay. Decreased when alveolar oxygen pressure falls. Decreased when alveolar oxygen pressure falls. Right? This is false, right? In the pulmonary circuit, what happens? Pulmonary circuit में क्या होता है? I am going to spend some time on this point because this is important. Okay, just compare this, what happens in your body. Let's say one is you have the pulmonary artery. This concept is very important, guys. Don't leave without listening this, or you will be in a great loss. One is the pulmonary artery. Let's say the second is the renal artery. Let's say second is the renal artery, right? So I decrease the partial pressure of oxygen. I decrease the partial pressure of oxygen in both cases. What happens? What happens? The pulmonary artery, it undergoes vasoconstriction. It undergoes vasoconstriction. And renal artery, it undergoes vasodilation. Exactly, Nurel is right. There is hypoxic vasoconstriction in the pulmonary circuit. The reason for that is your pulmonary artery knows that the blood it is taking, it does not have oxygen. The lung has to provide oxygen. So if the partial pressure of oxygen is less, it means that the aeration is not sufficient. So they say, don't send more blood here. We will not be able to do this. Okay. Whereas renal artery, it wants oxygen. It wants oxygen. So if the partial pressure of oxygen is less, they say dilate the artery so that we can get more quantity of oxygen. That we can get more quantity of oxygen. That's the funda here, right? So this is false. Expressed in units of volume flow per year, ठीक है, true. Decreased during exercise, false. It will obviously be increased during exercise, and it is regulated by the sympathetic tone. It is regulated by the sympathetic tone. Sorry, this is also false. This one was false. C was false because these are the units of resistance. These are the units of conductance. The units of resistance will be opposite. Decrease during exercise is true because during that there is a very little rise in pulmonary arterial pressure. The reason is there is a release of nitric oxide that causes vasodilation. Okay. Regulated reflexly by the sympathetic vasoconstrictor tone. No. Pulmonary vascular resistance, it is controlled by local factors, not by nervous factors. Okay. Okay, ये question थोड़ा difficult था, but this is the only concept that you need to learn from here. This is the only concept that you basically need to understand the logic behind from here. Question number 6. Question number 6. Only one answer is correct. Only one answer is correct, guys, here. Sorry, I took a poll of 5 options. There were only 4 options here. Ventricular filling, right? So ventricular filling, it is a phase of diastole and it is divided into 3. Rapid, slow, and atrial kick. Okay, so atrial kick or atrial contraction, it contributes 20%. Slow filling is 30% and 50% is by rapid filling. So it depends mainly on atrial contraction, false. Begins during isovolumetric ventricular relaxation, false. Begins after that. Gives rise to a third heart sound in some healthy people, yes. Third heart sound, it may be present in some people, especially children and older adults. S3, called as S3, that is due to rapid filling. Is most rapid in the first half of diastole. Is most rapid in the first half of diastole. Is that true? Is that true? Most rapid in the first half of diastole. You guys tell me. True or false? Yes, this one is also true. This one is also true. It is due to the entry of blood accumulated in the atria, right? So that is the rapid filling phase. First half नहीं होना चाहिए. First 1/3 होना चाहिए. First 1/3 होना चाहिए, kind of. ठीक है, because that's a slight incorrection. That's why C is the better answer, but D can also be taken. Question number 7. Veins. What is true about veins? Okay. So only one statement is false. So you will tell me which is the false statement. Tell me the false statement. I want to hear the false statement. Got it? Okay, veins contain most of the blood volume. Yes, I have told you over 64% of the heart circuit is in the veins. Sympathetic vasoconstrictor innervation, yes. So whenever there is a fall in blood pressure, your veins, they are going to give you additional blood volume due to sympathetic innervation. Receive nutrition from vasa vasorum, false. Vasa vasorum is there for large arteries, not for veins. It's there for large arteries. So that's why this was the correct answer. Respond to distension by contraction of their smooth muscle. Yes, that's called as myogenic mechanism. Undergo smooth muscle hypertrophy when exposed to high pressure through an atriovenous fistula. That's also true. Okay. Question number 8, in the heart. In the heart. So question number 8, in the heart. You have to tell me which is the true statement. There is only one statement that is true. There is only one statement that is true. So in the heart, the left atrial wall is about 3 times thicker than the right atrial wall. Is that true or false? That's that's. Tell me. Atria, it's similar, right? If this was ventricle, if this was left ventricle, then this would have been true. In case of atria, there is not much difference because right atrium it has to pump till where? Right ventricle. Left atrium it has to pump till where? Left ventricle. So the work is almost same. Systolic contraction normally begins in the left atrium. No, it begins in the right atrium. You all know SA node is there in the right atrium. Excitation spreads directly from the atrial muscle cell to the ventricular muscle cell. No, it does not spread directly. It spreads through the bundle of his atrial and ventricular muscle contraction. Atrial and atria and ventricle contract simultaneously in systole. False. They have different types of contraction. First, the atria will contract, and then the ventricles will contract. The contracting ventricles shorten from the apex to the base. Yes, this is true. This is true. This is the apex. This is the base. So they will go from the apex to the base. Right? That's the direction of ventricular contraction. Question number 9. Question number 9. So which is true according to you? According to you, two are false, three are true. Two are false, three are true. So pick the true statement. Pick the true statement. Mm-hmm. Okay. Isometric exercise differs from isotonic exercise that causes a greater increase in what? Right. So if you think about venous return, why does the venous return increase during exercise? Right. Because of the muscles of the leg. Right. There is a venous muscle pump. Enough. So when will that work more? Imagine there is one person who is pushing a wall. He's pushing a wall. Right. There is another person who is running and he's playing football. He's going to kick a football. So whose calf muscles will be more tensed? Whose calf muscles will be more tensed? Obviously, the one who is playing football, right? So venous return will increase more for isotonic exercise, right? Pressure in the veins training the exercising muscle. Pressure in the veins training the exercise muscle. Yes, this is true. Okay. In in case of isotonic exercise, what is happening? The muscle pump, it increases the venous return. It increases the venous return. So the venous pressure decreases in the veins of the legs. So the venous pressure, it decreases in the veins of the legs. So who will have more pressure in the veins? Isometric exercise. Okay. This is true. Muscle blood flow. Muscle blood flow. When will it be more? Obviously in the footballer or in the other person. It will obviously be more. Obviously it will be more in the footballer, right? So this is false. Mean arterial pressure, right? So if you talk about the mean arterial pressure, that's true here. Why? Because isometric exercise, it does not cause much of a change in the vascular resistance, whereas if you're playing football, there will be a fall in peripheral resistance because your muscle will need more blood. So what will happen? Vasodilation. The rise in arterial pressure with static exercise, it also increases cardiac work since cardiac output has to be ejected against a higher aortic pressure. So what is the meaning here? Since the mean arterial pressure increases, the cardiac work is more. The cardiac work is more for the same increase in cardiac output in case of isometric exercise. So please understand this. These are very important cardiac parameters to be compared during exercise. During exercise, during exercise, one thing that is happening. So let's compare isometric and isotonic, right? Isometric has also been called as static exercise, and isotonic has also been called as Okay, and muscle length is same. The total peripheral resistance is also increased, which in turn increases the venous return. Okay, so you're not very wrong, but try and understand this, that the major dominant effect. Why does the venous return increase during exercise? Why does the venous return increase during the exercise? It's because of the muscle pump. It's because of the muscle pump. So in general, your dependent regions, like your leg, right? So there is a lot of venous pooling that happens here. So when you exercise these dependent regions, the blood starts to go upward because of the muscle pump. So that muscle pump is the more important determinant as compared to the total peripheral resistance, right? So that is going to have a dominant effect on the increased venous resistance. So isometric exercise, what is happening? Where will the venous resistance be increased? Venous resistance is increased. A venous return is increased here. Okay. Where will the venous pressure be increased? Here. And you understand the logic behind that? Okay. So venous resistance, venous pressure. Where will the mean arterial pressure be more? Mean arterial pressure will be more in this case. Since the mean arterial pressure is more, the heart has to pump against extra pressure, right? So the heart will be doing more work. So cardiac work will be more. Right? So those are the parameters that were discussed in this particular question. Yeah, okay. So if you talk about diastolic blood pressure, right? So diastolic blood pressure, it will depend on total peripheral resistance. Will it depend on total peripheral resistance? Yes, it will depend on the total peripheral resistance. Remember, in a way, systolic blood pressure, it depends on how forcefully the heart has to pump. The diastolic blood pressure, it depends on how much the what has to pump, how much the total peripheral resistance is, right? So if you compare in static exercise and dynamic exercise, where will you need more blood flow to the muscle? Where will you need more blood flow to the muscle? In dynamic exercise, right? So here you have vasodilation. So here there is a fall in TPR. There is a fall in TPR. There is a fall in TPR, right? Static, in case of static, what is happening? There is not as much fall as in TPR. So TPR, let's say it remains almost constant. So let's say it is total peripheral resistance is 10 here, it will become 6 here, right? So since the resistance is more in this case, the pressure will remain more in which case? What is the relation of diastolic blood pressure and peripheral resistance? If the peripheral resistance is more, the total peripheral resistance is more, right? They're directly correlated, correct? So it will be more in static. And as you all know, the mean arterial pressure, it depends on, it is 2/3 of diastolic blood pressure and 1/3 of systolic blood pressure. So there is a greater contribution of diastolic blood pressure. Okay, there is a greater contribution of diastolic blood pressure. So if the mean arterial pressure is more, it means obviously that there is a contribution coming from this diastolic blood pressure component, which is ultimately related to the total peripheral resistance. Got it, Nishant? Concept clear? So only one statement is false in this particular question. Only one statement is false. You tell me. Okay. So I have a one general question for you guys. Do you guys write like the multiple answer questions, or do you write single answer correct better? Which ones do you write like better? Single answer correct or multiple answer correct? Okay. So question number 10, the correct answer here. The only false statement is option C. Okay. What will happen in lymphatic obstruction? In lymphatic obstruction, the tissue fluid, it will accumulate. Okay. The tissue fluid, it will accumulate, right? So this is false. Arteriolar dilation, true. Change from recumbent to standing, true. Leg exercise, true. Plasma albumin depletion. Okay. So that's how the question will be answered. Should we go to question number 11? Did you understand the previous question? Is there any doubt here in this previous question? A lot of you got this right, so I didn't discuss. Any doubt? Why will it increase in arteriolar dilation? Because there is an increase in capillary hydrostatic pressure. Right? Change from recumbent to standing position. What happens? from the recumbent to the standing position. Capillary pressure, it increases by the gravity, right? Gravity, effect of gravity. This is the effect of gravity. Okay, so that's how you can keep correlating everything. Question number 11 पे चलते हैं. So two statements are true. Two statements are true. Right. So when measuring blood pressure by the auscultatory method, so there are two methods. One is the method where you feel the pulse, right? The other method is where you auscultate. So you have to understand Krotkov sounds. You have to understand Krotkov sounds here. The sounds that are heard are generated in the heart, right? False sounds that are heard, they're actually generated by the turbulence of the blood. They're in the turbulence of the blood in the brachial artery itself, right? The cuff pressure at which the first heart sounds are heard indicate systolic blood pressure. True, right? Phase 1, that indicates the appearance of the tapping sound indicates systolic blood pressure. Have you done your blood pressure practicals? Have you ever measured your blood pressure using the manual BP? Have you? The cuff pressure at which the loudest sounds are heard indicate diastolic pressure. False. Diastolic blood pressure is muffling of sound or disappearance of sound, right? Called as phase 5. Muffling is phase 4. That is there for hyperdynamic circulation. When the sounds disappear, that is called as that is where you determine the diastolic pressure. Systolic pressure estimations tend to be lower than those made by palpatory methods. They are usually higher. They're usually higher because obviously auscultation is better. Littman का स्टेथोस्कोप जो बता सकता है वो फील करके थोड़ी बता सकते हो, right? This is false. Wider cuffs are required for larger arms. True, of course. If the arm is wider, you will require a larger cuff. So this is true. So correct answer by Nishant Raj. Option B and E are true. You know all the phases. Phase 1 of Krotkov, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. Phase 1 is tapping sound. Phase 5 is disappearance. Phase 4 is muffling. And when there is hyperdynamic circulation, you don't have a phase 5. There is no disappearance of sound. The sound keeps on coming. And that is in case of like pregnant women or some small children, right? Anemic. And then there is waxing and weaning of sound. Okay. Question number 12. Okay. So all are true except one. All are true except one. All are true except one. अच्छा false बता रही थी यार. I forgot to tell you. Tell me the false statement. I forgot to tell you. Tell me the false statement. Absolute refractory period in the ventricles is the period when the ventricles are completely inexcitable. True. Corresponds to the period of ventricular depolarization, true. Corresponds approximately to the period of ventricular contraction, again true. Because what is the nature of the curve, right? This is the action potential, this is somewhat the action potential, and this is somewhat the contraction. This is a diagram for your Guyton. Guyton mein this diagram is drawn, and from that this conclusion is drawn. Is shorter than the corresponding period in atrial muscle? False. False, right? ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. Decrease during sympathetic stimulation of the heart. True. Because sympathetic stimulation of the heart means the heart is beating faster. The action potentials are shorter. Question number 13. हाँ, 3 false है, 2 true है. ठीक है. So tell me the true statements only. Tell me the true statements only. Vascular resistance increases by 50% when the vascular radius is half. Vascular resistance increases by more than 50% when the vascular radius is half. False. Because what is the relation between resistance and radius? If you remember, resistance and radius. Poiseuille's equation. Poiseuille's equation. Radius to the power of 4. Okay. So it will increase by 87.5%. It will increase by 87.5%. Matlab, giving you an approximate here, right? Is related to the thickness of the wall of the vessel. Vascular resistance is related to the wall thickness. No, it is independent of the wall thickness. It depends on the lumen. This is the radius that is counted. Is related to the length of the vessel. It is related to the length of the vessel. Think about the Poiseuille's equation. Yes, it is directly proportional to the length. It is affected by the blood viscosity. Again, true. Poiseuille's equation. Resistance is related to viscosity. Okay, what is the formula for resistance? Let's just understand. It is proportional to viscosity into length divided by fourth power of radius. Fourth power of radius, right? Is greater in the capillary bed than in the arteriolar bed. It is greater in the capillary bed than the arterial bed. False, right? Arterial resistance is more because arterioles are called as resistance vessels. They are called as resistance vessels. So they are the main contributors to resistance. ठीक है? Are you finding these questions too difficult, guys? Do you think that these questions are slightly more difficult than you have solved before? थोड़ा, I know this is slightly difficult for you guys to answer, and तुम लोगों को कम समझ आ रहा होगा कहीं कहीं पे. So just let me know wherever you are having a doubt, because तभी फायदा है इनको डिस्कस करने का. Sympathetic drive to the heart is increased. When is the sympathetic drive increased? It is increased in exercise. It is increased when there is excitement, right? Very simple things. Hypotension. What is the body's response? Increase the sympathetic drive. You need to increase the pressure. So in hypotension, ये देखो एक बड़ी अजीब स्टेटमेंट है. अगर पैरासिम्पथेटिक ड्राइव को डिक्रीज कर दोगे तो क्या सिंपैथेटिक बढ़ जाएगी? नहीं, ये थोड़ी है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. दे आर बोथ इंडिपेंडेंटली वर्किंग. पैरासिम्पैथेटिक अलग चलती है, सिंपैथेटिक अलग चलती है. During a vasovagal attack, obviously no, this is a vagal attack, right? So this is activation of parasympathetic nervous system. So this is again going to be false. Again a false statement. Let's go to question number 15. In an adult subject standing quietly, चुपचाप खड़ा है भाई बंदा रेस्ट पे, ठीक है. Adult subject standing quietly at rest, quietly at rest. So we are talking about such a subject. Now one is false, four are true. So tell me the false statement. Tell me the false statement. Just go through the statements. I'm giving you the time. Go through the statements. I'll do a short poll only. अरे foot is approximately equal to arterial pressure at heart level. Pressure in the foot, it is approximately equal to the pressure at the heart level. ठीक है? Is it true? Venous pressure in the foot is approximately equal to the arterial pressure at the heart level. Think of it very carefully. What is the arterial pressure at the level of the heart? It's somewhere around 80 to 120 mm of Hg, right? And what is the venous pressure? What is the venous pressure of the heart? It's almost nothing, next to nothing. And due to the column, due to the effect of gravity, the venous pressure in the foot, it is approximately 90 mm of Hg. Okay, so this is true. This is true. It will seem very weird, but this is true. Option number B, thorax, it decreases when the subject inhales. Yes, because there is a negative intrathoracic pressure that is created, right? That is the reason for an increased venous return during inspiration, and that is responsible for the physiological splitting of the second heart sound. I had explained it to you yesterday. Physiological splitting of the second heart sound, right? The venous pressure in the hand is subatmospheric when the hand is raised above the head. False. Reason, above the level of the heart, the veins collapse. The veins collapse. You cannot have a transmission of a vacuum because the vein, it collapses. So venous pressure, it remains atmospheric. Okay. How are the sinuses held open? By meningeal attachment. So they are not subatmospheric. They are also kept atmospheric. Superior vena cava is an index of cardiac filling pressure. True. Yes, that is a that is why you place a central venous pressure line here, right? So this is also true. 15th, A, B, D, E are true, and these are some of, see, all of these concepts of pressure, they are the ones I want to target with you guys, because I know that these involve physics, and wherever physics come, sometimes we feel like we won't be able to answer, but you can think of it, you can create correlations, and you can try to answer. Okay, question number 16. Question number 16. Okay. Question number 16. Please try to understand. Three are false, two are true. I want the true ones. Three are false, two are true. Hyperemia in skeletal muscle during exercise is normally associated with hyperemia in skeletal muscle during exercise is normally associated with. What is meaning of hyperemia? Increased blood flow. Increased blood flow, right? Release of sympathetic vasoconstrictor tone in the exercising muscle. Is it because of that? No. Okay. Even if you remove the sympathetic supply, there will still be hyperemia. There will still be hyperemia. You do not need sympathetic nervous system. Please clear this concept. Capillary dilation due to relaxation of capillary smooth muscle. False. Okay. The capillaries, they actually do not have smooth muscle. Capillaries do not have smooth muscle. So their dilation is because of increased capillary pressure, and that is because of the effect of arterioles. That is because of the effect of arterioles. Capillaries by themselves, they do not have any control. Okay, if you remember, the main role is of the muscular arteriole. A fall in arterial pressure falls. Arterial pressure, it usually rises when there is exercise hyperemia, very obvious. Reflex vasoconstriction in other vascular beds, true. When you exercise in your GIT, what is happening? There is vasoconstriction. And there is vasoconstriction. So that blood from the GIT is diverted to the muscle, true. And there is an increase in the cardiac output, and that also causes hyperemia. So D and E are the reasons why there is hyperemia during exercise. Question number 17. Now the questions are becoming relatively simpler for you guys to answer, I can see. Okay. So now three statements are false, two are true. Tell me the true two ones, right? Three are false, two are true. Three are false, two are. SA node cells are SA node cells. Where are they found? Where will you have SA node cells? Right? SA node cells. What is true regarding SA node cells? Right? Found in both atria. Obviously false. They're found in right atrium. Right? Who are you kidding? Innervated by the vagus, true. They have both sympathetic as well as parasympathetic innervation. Whereas if you look at the AV node, is it innervated by the vagus? No. Unable to generate impulses when completely innervated, false. That is the meaning of a heart that is independent of the nervous supply, right? There are two types of heart, myogenic and neurogenic. So it's a myogenic heart. Connected to the AV node by fine bundles of Purkinje tissue? No. There are three bundles, right? Pacman bundle. Remember I told you about three bundles, atrioventricular bundles. They are going to connect it. Able to generate impulses because their membrane potential is unstable? Yes. That is called as restless membrane potential. True. Okay. So B and E, they are true, rest are false. Okay. So very important concepts. Please try and understand all of these. Question number 18. Question number 18. It's time for question number 18. So the first heart sound. Okay, ये first heart sound लिखा होना चाहिए इस question में. So two are true and three are false. ये final नहीं है, first है. So जो final heart sound कौन सी होती है भाई? ठीक है? So true are true, three are. So tell me the answer. Question number 18. Any doubts? First heart sound. देखो heart sound पे कल बहुत अच्छा lecture था. Even if you don't watch anything else, please watch that lecture on heart sounds. ठीक है? Because at your level, it's very difficult to curate content for heart sounds because heart sounds, they are a topic that are so advanced, है ना? इतना stenosis, इतना murmur, वो सब हटा दिया था और सब जो बिल्कुल बेसिक बातें हैं वो करी थी, right? That will allow you to answer the questions. Okay. It is synchronous with the which closure? Not aortic and pulmonary, it's tricuspid and mitral. Corresponds with QRS complex of ECG, not with P wave. A rise in atrial pressure. A rise in atrial pressure. That is again going to be a. Is it true? Yes. Because do you remember the atrial pressure tracing? Atrial pressure tracing. Do you remember this? There was an A wave, there was a C wave, and there was a V wave. So the C wave, it was occurring due to closure of mitral and tricuspid valve. So there is a corresponding increase. So there is a corresponding increase in the pressures here. There's a corresponding increase in the pressures here. A rise in ventricular pressure, obviously, there is a contraction that is happening. है ना? Ventricular contraction हो रही है तो pressure तो बढ़ेगा ही. And corresponds with the C wave in central venous pressure. So I want you to tell me S1, S2, S3, S4. Okay. What is the corresponding ECG? First tell me for S1. What is the corresponding ECG? Corresponding ECG for S1. QRS. Corresponding ECG for Okay, beginning of QRS, immediately after beginning of QRS. What is corresponding ECG for? S2. End of T wave, correct. At the end of T wave. When do you have S3? ECG, S3. ECG change relating to S3. Acha, tell me for S4. S4 is simpler. S4 is simpler. S4, why does S4 occur? Yes, S4 occurs because of atrial kick. Atrial kick. So there is going to be, in the ECG, which wave will you have? P wave. Right? In the central venous pressure tracing, CVS, central venous pressure, CVP, right? You will here have the A wave. Here you will have which wave? C wave. Okay. So those are a few things that you have to understand regarding the heart sounds and their comparison with the various tracings, right? So we are going to question number 19. So all, okay, I won't tell you how many are true, how many are false, okay, because that will give a hint to this question. Increased sympathetic drive to the heart increases the rate of, okay, sympathetic drive बढ़ गई sympathetic drive. Okay, so what will happen? I told you yesterday when I was teaching you cardiac action potentials that SNS, what it causes is it increases the slope. It increases the slope of pacemaker potentials. It increases the slope of pacemaker potentials. That means the diastolic depolarizations. It increases the slope of diastolic depolarizations. What else will happen? There is an increase in coronary blood flow. There is an increase in coronary blood flow. Right? Correct. Sympathetic nervous system will do that. Rate of conduction increases. Yes, this is called as dromotropy. This is called as dromotropy. Slope of the Frank-Starling curve of the heart increases. Yes, because force is proportional to length. So you are going to want to increase that slope. Ejection fraction of the left ventricle, that also increases. That is why you will be able to pump more blood. Yes, so all of these are correct. Question number 20. That's probably the last question we'll be doing in this particular session. Last question. Okay. Question number 20. So how many are true? How many are false? 3 are true, 2 are false. Tell me the true ones. Tell me the true ones. Velocity of blood flow. Please understand this. Please understand this. Pressure is the only thing that you can directly correlate. As you go away from the heart, pressure will decrease. That is a sure short thing. As you go away from the heart, the pressure will keep on decreasing. That's a very sure short thing. But velocity, it not only depends on pressure, it also depends on surface area, right? That is why in capillaries, even though the pressure is less, but the surface area is so much. Surface area is so much. So in capillaries, it is low. In capillaries, it is very low because it has a large surface area. So this is false. It is because of large surface area, not because of resistance. In veins, it is greater than in venules. That's true because veins, they have a small cross-sectional area. So the velocity becomes more. Okay, venules are obviously very small vessels. So they have a larger cross-sectional area. Can fall to 0 in the ascending aorta during diastole. Can that happen? True. Okay, why? Because when the aortic valves close, there is backflow of blood. There is backflow of blood, and semilunar walls are immediately going to stop it. So yes, true, that flow it also stops. If you have seen the tracing, it is something like this, right? So it comes down to zero. It comes down to zero, right? Axial flow, it occurs in large vessels near the wall, right? Is greater towards the center of large blood vessels than at the periphery. Yes, this is true. Why? If you remember your physics, the blood pressure here, the blood velocity here along the walls is zero. And as you come to the center, the blood velocity is maximum in the center. So this bullet shape is formed. This bullet shape is formed in the fluid, right? So this is true. If the circulation falls as the hematocrit falls, right? As the hematocrit falls, the blood velocity, what happens to the blood velocity? It rises due to increase in cardiac output, right? If the hematocrit falls, you will have an increase in cardiac output, as can be seen in case of anemia, as can be seen in case of anemia. Okay. So now, guys, we are done with 20 MCQs and we have done them in less than 60 minutes, right? So that is a commendable job, given the fact that all of these were multiple answer correct and all of these were difficult MCQs. Now I have a second session planned at which will start at 5:10 p.m. So I want a feedback from you guys. Do you want to discuss similar questions? We can discuss 20 more questions similar to these ones, or we can discuss EMQs, that is extended matching questions. Which one do you want to do? Which one do you want to do? Are you tired of these questions? Do you want to try a new kind of questions? EMQs, extended matching questions. Do you want to try those out? Okay, Nishant Raj is saying both. Rajat is saying EMQs. Anyone else has any opinions? Okay, so any case, I'll provide you all these MCQs so that you can attempt definitely on your own. We'll try to do some of these and then we'll proceed to EMQs. Okay, so let's also do some EMQs. So guys, we are starting with an MBBS first prof batch, and we are already having batches for NEET PG. We are having batches for FMG. We are having batches for Next. We are having batches for INI-CET. So all of these batches are going on. We have an MCQ question bank of over 34,000 questions, right? And you will get a lot of features when you download the Unacademy application. So there's a plus subscription and there's an iconic subscription. And right now we have a great offer going on for the iconic subscription. So use my referral code SPCM and you will be able to avail this offer, right? So the 3-year plan, it was earlier for 92,000 and it used to cost 82,000 after discount, right? So right now after discount it is 58,500. It is 58,500. The 2-year plan it's for 50,000 and the 1-year plan it is for 40,500. So let's say you are in the first year. Let me give you a few calculations. If you are in the first year, let me give you a few calculations. You are getting a 3-year access to both Unacademy and Prep Ladder for 60,000 rupees. Okay. So let me tell you, in the second year, you will definitely purchase GRG app, GRG for as an application, and that costs 4,000 rupees. That costs 4,000 rupees. So that is already included here with Prep Ladder, right? Then in final year, you will purchase Apurv Mehra's app, right? That is again different. Then you will purchase the notes. You will purchase the notes themselves. The notes, they are going to cost 7,000. They are going to cost 7,000, and they are also included with this. Okay. Then you will use some preparation too, right? These are definite things that you are going to do for your PG preparation. So just subtract this 10K that is included, right? So you are going to anyway spend that. So extra amount that you are spending essentially is 49,000 for 2 apps, right? So now 2 apps are costing you 25,000 approximately per year, and per app that is approximately 12,500. 12,500. Now you think for yourself, 12,500. If you divide it by 365, the cost you are paying is so less. It's so less. It's almost coming down to the cost of, right? I've already taken the fact, right? So if you take the cost, it's almost 20 rupees per day, 30 rupees per day, right? And that much you should be spending on your education. And this is also with a no cost EMI. You don't have to pay it in bulk. So do discuss this with your parents and you can go for the subscription. And we have a 3-month plus 1-month offer going on the plus subscription that will cost you 11,000 rupees. You can also take the yearly plans, 1-year plan for 25, 2-year plan for 36, and 3-year plans for 45. Again, use my referral code SPCM or Chetanya. So see you guys in another 10 minutes. It's a break for 10 minutes and see you guys after that break.